access to funding. You see, this business is not something you do with. It's not a fast consumer good. That's just FCMCNGs. So that fast-moving consumer good. That you take money from bank. If you be careful how you source for fund, because you may walk yourself into a very tight corner. Because why taking money from bank? You may not have considered the incubation period, the turnover period. That is not something that you buy today, you sell tomorrow. There are some mistake months, years, and you are paying interest on those products. So funding is a challenge. And because most of us enter it as a responsible adult. You have been paying rent, small money that is just coming. You may wish to go and subscribe to one estate or even start building house. So without building your capital base. So this is actually a challenge to a lot of pharmacists. And the other one is harassment from government agencies. In FCT alone, we have almost like 19 demand notices of different people. 19 demand notice. You pay for fumigation, you pay for signage, tenement rate, all sorts of things they ask you to pay for. So I have a lot of places where we have been in court because I'm not paying for all the harassment they are giving us. We have to even approach the court for proper interpretation because all sorts of people want to regulate us.
Yes.
So that leads me to overregulation, that even among our own council, we are not finding it easy. Because you may find out that our younger brothers, the PPLMV, the patent medicine vendors, even have a softer landing than the pharmacists. So, and again, is a lack of or improper mentoring. Our younger colleagues upon leaving school, maybe either the lecturers or lack of entrepreneurial skill, think they may have to include this in a curriculum of pharmacy education for the ones that want to come into community pharmacy. Because by the time you interact with the younger ones, from what comes out from them, what their expectations, and when it's not being met, a good child may have the moral standard lowered to make ends meet. So these are a few of the challenges in the profession.
So we could write a book out of this interview session. You've spoken a lot about the challenge.
The call came in and this conversation was frozen. So
yes, I said we could write a book from these conversations you are having here, today, and hand it as a starter pack for fresh out of school pharmacists. You spoke a lot about the challenges.
Yeah.
Right. You highlighted the rate of churn for staffing and the problem of replacement of headcount.
Yes.
You've mentioned overregulation. You mentioned power source, energy source. And just to mention, when you mention energy source and the fact that there are some drugs that need standard temperature to remain active and effective, reminds me of a project we kickstarted, for safe motherhood with Shelf Life in conjunction with Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to provide these products, cold chain products for prevention of postpartum hemorrhage to government hospitals, institutions, private hospitals, parastatals, and if they do not have cold chain equipment to maintain it, to provide some form of cold chain support to them, because I don't think we can overemphasize the importance of ensuring that drugs stay in their most effective state, moving from distributor to community pharmacies or to the shelves, and finally to the consumer. Very, very important. But I want to spotlight some of the challenges that you raised. Two of them specifically. You mentioned stock, the problem of stock. You also mentioned capital, how that as a startup or someone in the business of community practice, it is important to understand how to source for financing outside of bank loans that we all know, could be as much as high as two digits interest rates. I can't hear you anymore, sir. Can you check your? I think you are muted. You are muted, sir. Can you unmute?
Right.
Yes,
Ah,
exactly. Yeah, I can
okay.
hear you now.
Okay.
So I want to spotlight those two challenges. Now, something we do in shelf life is stock, provision of stock, some level of stock
Okay.
management, and financing. You have been our partner for for a while now. Where do you think we come in as shelf life to help community pharmacists mitigate that challenge of stocking and financing?
Well, just like you said that I've been partnered with you, Chef Life for a while now. So the aspects maybe I would like people to credit terms like how long maturation period, how long one has to pay, and also to help in the inventory management. Inventory management. So that will help know what to, because sometimes one overstocks a particular product, and one head cannot manage everywhere. So if there is already an organized system or a product that can help in managing inventory control, that will help. So I think that's it. Yeah.
So if I hear you correctly, you are saying aside of the value shelf life as a company brings to ensuring there is stock on the shelves for community pharmacies to provide access to medication for their patients, and aside the value that we bring in ensuring you have myriads of free financing options, because there are no interest or there are not interest on our financing options for community pharmacies. We spread it as much as 4, 6, and we are increasing the options right now of pay. If I hear you correctly, you are saying if we have another product for community pharmacies that helps to manage inventory, that would be something that will be helpful to community pharmacies.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely beautiful. We currently have a type, for the federal government, NHLMIS. I don't know if you know about NHLMIS. We
No, I know
build
of NHIS. I don't know if
Okay, no, not
NHIS.
NHIS, NHLMIS. We build
Okay.
and manage, NHLMIS for the federal government. It's more like our field supply for the federal government for managing the inventory of vaccines, in the vaccination program. And
Okay.
thank you for that insightful point. Let's talk about funny experiences so far. I know there can be interesting things that happen within the community pharmacy space.
Yeah.
Can you talk about something that has happened as an interesting to you? You think about it, you still laugh, so far in your profession.
Okay. There's one particular incident. One of my clients, after a while, I didn't see him. He was he's obese. Was diabetic and also hypertensive. So I didn't see him. So one evening, I saw somebody just ran into the pharmacy. See, doc, because some of this underserved area, they even call the pharmacist, doc, come on, come on, come on. I said, what's the problem? Say we should check his BP. We checked it, it was high. Say, all those my drugs, bring them. I should double it. So he said that the pastor said they should touch wherever they have ailments and believe that they are healed. They should declare for healing for themselves. And from that moment, they should stop any drug they are taking, that they are healed. So that's why he dropped his anti-hypertensive drugs and anti-diabetic drugs, that he has been healed by the pastor. Well, I just told him that he
And he
almost
didn't check.
committed suicide. Huh?
He wasn't checking
Pardon?
his vitals. He wasn't checking
He
his
wasn't
numbers.
checking. So what actually brought him was the symptoms he was having. He knew the declaration of healing didn't work. So he rushed to the pharmacy. I told him that if you had died, you committed suicide, you killed yourself. That even the pastor telling you he's taking his or her own drug, but he's telling you to declare that you are healed. So some of that funny things that sometimes this one was even not up to too long ago. The woman, I believe she knew I was the MD, but I was not sitting. I was sitting in front of where the customer sits. I was going through some documents. So she was lamenting that she's tired, that she doesn't want to take any drug again. But after all, that the doctor wrote the drug for 1 month. Why is it that at the end of the month, after completion of the medication, that her BP has not gone? That is supposed to have been cured. So after listening
There
for
was
a
no.
while, I told you what's come. Did the doctor tell you that at the end of 1 month, the BP will gone? You say no, but why did he write 1 month? That he should have written Sini die. So I took my time to explain to her that 1 month is for you to come back for review. So that you either say maintain your drug or change to this one. That's as long as at this your age you have been diagnosed to be hypertensive. Not that there's a sudden something that causes it, and once you remove that it goes. That's still death to you apart. That you just have to manage it. You say back to send. I say no, don't miss send them.